I'm going for a different weekend update this week. It's been a day, and since Geoawesome released their Global Top 100 Geospatial Companies 2025 edition, I used to be on the panel selecting these, but not this year. Nevertheless, I'm keen to know how this blog functions as a replacement actually for the effort that I'm making of maintaining a global list of all geospatial companies worldwide. The question is this panel of experts useful for replacing an ongoing effort to track all of these companies worldwide? So the panel comprises 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, plus the two guys that run the blog. There's some leading lights definitely in our industry here, so their opinion is to be respected in terms of whether or not the companies in the 100 companies in this list are innovative, are somehow impactful on our industry. I understand that those are the criteria for maintaining this list. I, however, have the additional criterion of there being a good financial return with this rolling update every year since 2016 of effectively this portfolio, or the 20 publicly traded stocks that can be made into a portfolio this year from the 100 both public and private companies in this list. So, of course, what I have dutifully done is made a Google Sheet. I'm very happy to share that with you. It'll be in the show notes. You can see I've got the two lists of blog posts from 2016, links to those, and then every year that the list has been published, due to COVID, there was a break. So, and due to other reasons from 2017, 2018, they didn't update it. But the ones that I have, 2016, 2019, 21, 22, 23, 24, and now 25, I've got the links there for you. I have laboriously extracted all lists into one big long one with things like the count of the number of years that, for example, Pasco was in, where it applies. So where it is a publicly traded company, I've got the exchange and the ticker symbol. There's some other checks, some notes, and where, for example, Planet hadn't yet listed 2016, but I knew in future there was a SPAC in 2021 and what the future ticker would be. Just out of interest, I have listed that off. Something else to say about Planet is that even though there was a SPAC in 2021, it couldn't make it into the top 100 list until the voting was done in 2022. So that's when you can see the New York Stock Exchange and PL ticker symbol for Planet in 2022. Okay, so hopefully it's looking like I've done my homework here. Here's just a consolidated list of all the public companies. I've used that to then build up my portfolio each year, with buyers and sells at appropriate dates based on the release of these lists each year on the Geoawesome blog. Something of interest might be the count, so the number of years that a given company has appeared in the top 100. So the total number of publicly traded companies that have ever been mentioned is 46 across these lists since 2016. And you can see the median is actually 2 here. So the ones that are sort of median are Telenav, Earthcast, Mapillary, IQGeo, which was bought last year by KKR, Oracle, Supermap Software, which is from China. You've got, favorites, however, very well-known companies in the geospatial arena: Topcon, Autodesk, Google, Microsoft, Hexagon, Trimble, and TomTom. There's an emphasis on surveying companies there. Bentley's often in there as well. And then, yeah, the long tail, if you like, ones that are sort of one-hit wonders, things like BAE Systems, Trapeze, Telogis, haven't heard of that one. outside of this maintenance list. Another way to graph things is just the number of publicly traded companies per year. So we have 7 here. The first listing, 2016, had 12 publicly traded companies, the same number 2019, and it's been edging up ever since. 2023 we went back down to 19, but generally it's been 20 basically since 2022. You can see that in this chart. Right, so let's get on to the good stuff. I've consolidated everything into a simple little table here showing comparing the performance of the Geoawesome top 100 publicly traded companies with the well-known benchmark, the S&P 500, and also with my listing, the various forms of that, the Geospatial Index. So if we look at the first category, which is since the inception from what I can see, the 2nd of November 2016 of the Geoawesome top 100, that has performed at 10% per year. So if you just bought those 12 stocks that we saw here on the 2nd of November 2016, and then updated each year that the top 100 was updated your portfolio with the publicly traded companies, you would end up with a 10% gain per year to now. However, that 10% gain loses to the S&P 500 gain per year of 14% on average since the 2nd of November 2016 when the Geoawesome list started. And in fact, it loses to all forms of the Geospatial Index as well, which is this much broader listing of the world's publicly traded geospatial stocks. So the entire 360 odd geospatial companies that I've found around the world have, since the inception of the top 100 list, performed at 16% on average per year. And the pure play ones, there's a pattern of those not performing so well. So they still, however, have outperformed by 1% the Geoawesome top 100 at 11% per year. And if you just bought the adjacent geospatial stocks, you would have gotten a gain of 18% per year to now. So whilst, again, I respect the authority, the knowledge, the skill of the various panels throughout the years since 2016, from a pure portfolio management perspective of geospatial stocks, they have not done so well. So you might be wondering how things have gone in the past year. So in general, the market did incredibly well. If we look at the S&P 500, a 23% gain is incredible. But actually, the Geoawesome top 100 panel performed better by 2%. So that's a win compared to the S&P 500. The overall Geospatial Index had an incredibly good year as well last year, however. So the Geoawesome top 100 with only a 25% gain lost to the overall Geospatial Index 29% gain. However, it did win against the pure play stocks, which only advanced 22%. But again, it was a loss compared to the adjacent stocks in the Geospatial Index. So it's a bit of a mixed bag in the past year. But the panel on the Geoawesome top 100 list, it has to be said, did in some cases win in the past year. Overall, though, since inception 2016, unfortunately, we cannot say that they have outperformed the market or the overall Geospatial Index. I want to have a weekly wrap of jobs. Again, this is from Vikas on LinkedIn. You can see in the show notes the link to his profile. So he's broken it down handily again by region. So let's look at an example from each region. So in Asia, in India, GSS is hiring for a GIS developer. You can have the link to this document and get those job links again, also in the show notes. In Nepal, Nexus also hiring a GIS officer. That sounds quite exciting. Moving on to North America, in the US, AD Maps engineer is being hired by Mercedes-Benz. That sounds really exciting. I imagine they've got some cool HC mapping and autonomous systems type geospatial happening there. Moving on to Europe, in Germany, Jacobs is hiring for a GIS analyst. Interesting to know, Jacobs has a presence in Germany. Down to Italy, Westhouse Italia SRL is hiring for a GIS developer. In Spain, Ace Tech Space is hiring for a remote sensing business developer. Always interesting to know about the Earth observation space and what's going on with hiring there. Moving on to Denmark, there's an academic position open at the University of Copenhagen, PhD fellowship in remote sensing and deep learning. Another really interesting one, I think. Then down in the UK, ESA is hiring for a climate applications scientist. Moving on then to the region of Africa. In South Africa, Zaturi is hiring for a GIS specialist. And last of all, in the Middle East, in the UAE, a sales representative and drone operator in Dubai is sought. And it looks like it's Aero Servu AE. That looks like the company, something like that. Vickers seems to have missed out the company name. Okay, so that's the wrap. Until next week.